Great.
I just have a quick update. At the end of the Jakarta EE8 release, we decided that we really should go back, look back at how we did with Jakarta EE8. We asked the various subcommittees, and we also looked at the looked on the community for a for some input about where did we where did we do things right and where did we need some improvements. And I wanted to, together with Will, who's the I guess he's the chair for the Jakarta EE steering committee. He put together a bunch of data about that retrospective, and I wanted to kind of just going to go over the highlights of that, of what we found. So this started off in the steering committee, and then we asked for contributors from the specification group, the marketing group, and also we did ask for contributors that were committers, and also just sort of general observations from the Jakarta EE community. We wanted to turn that into some feedback that we could then turn into some a set of actions that we could use for subsequent releases. We have just recently published this. We put up a blog earlier this week, and it should be available at the aquarium blog that's with the URL that's listed down at the bottom of the screen. I know we don't use that blog much, but we thought this was the right place for that. It should be there. It should be there now if anybody wants to go look at the details. We're working on getting that aggregated into the Jakarta EE blogs, but I don't think it's quite there yet. I didn't actually check this morning, but when I went to bed last night, it wasn't there. So things that went well. Probably most of you are aware we had some pretty stiff legal hurdles that we had to get past. So once we got by those, everything seemed to really kind of go pretty well. In fact, my recollection was many of the people, at least in my circles, were we tend to be a little dour, and we had a lot of naysayers into it. So there was a lot of skepticism that we were actually going to hit the dates that we had set for ourselves. But we managed to get everything going on time, and we got a lot of press and analyst coverage. And I think my hat is definitely off to the guys and gals at Eclipse, because I think they really pressed hard to get a lot of to make a lot of noise in the press and to make sure that analysts were aware of what was coming. We had the Jakarta One live stream that probably most of you have at least heard about, and if not, if you haven't taken a look at any of the original program, I highly recommend you go take a look at some of those presentations. They give you a really good sense of what Jakarta EE migration is all about, and they also have some news about what are some specs going to be trying to accomplish in their next releases. So that all went really well. Some areas for improvement, right? We struggled with our own process that we created. We needed to, there were a lot of things that we were just doing by the seat of our pants, and we had to kind of had to focus on trying to get those things worked out. So I would say that's going to be an ongoing improvement area. We're already working on trying to make things work better. Communication to the broader community, always difficult, right? For those of us who are sort of immersed in this, and we get the information daily, to get a sense of what is escaping outside of our higher bandwidth channels. So we'll hope to be able to improve that community communications, and then further clarifying how each of these the steering committee interacts with the subcommittees, and how all of that interacts with the committer teams. In general, we want this to be as light a touch, as light control as is necessary to get these releases out as a cohesive platform. And I hope during the course of this coming year we'll see some relaxation of rules, perhaps even with rules that have been traditional with the former Java EE project. I hope we can make these things less burdensome and improve the general throughput and hopefully even the release cadence. It's always been our goal, and it certainly is going to continue to be our goal. Let's see. So what are we planning to do? We intend to, this presentation is part of our response to that feedback. If you look at the aquarium post, you can get there are links to the details, the detailed feedback that actually contains a little bit more than what I'm presenting here. We'll be trying to continue to reach out, do more proactive communications of the Jakarta EE9 release plan. And this call and trying to get the word out and getting more people on calls like this, definitely those are things that we want to continue to do. It's good to see we got about almost 40 people on this call today, so I think that's a good start. See if we can keep that up. And that's all I had. Are there any questions?